How are you processing this journey?
That's a very good question, and the first time anybody has asked me that question. I am not taking it too seriously, focused on my next job, and knowing that I've given birth to the baby. She got all her nails, she got all her fingers. I've stepped over the placenta, and I'm walking now. And so now it's I'm really on to another piece, and my head's in another space, and so I have to come back into the world of this. And I don't understand. I made the movie for African Americans. I made the movie not only for African Americans, but for a specific African American, for people that were middle income to lower income, because they would understand the nuances. They would understand me. They would understand the social worker coming in, hiding stuff from the social worker, and that whole thing. And my mom often says, she really is embarrassed because, why can't you make movies like Tyler Perry, And so I made it for her because she really doesn't. She's never understood my world of film. Really, I mean, she tries to because I'm her son. Mm-hmm. But I said, now understand this. And guess what? I got his name on it. Now you're really going to understand it.
That has to have come full circle for her. That she used Tyler as a measurement of what she considered to be great film.
Yes.
And her son to now be partnered with him on such an incredible movie.
Yes, we were in Toronto, and I was too embarrassed to bring her there because I knew I knew what she was going to do to Tyler, and I couldn't bring her there. So I have to find a private moment because she won't speak to me if I don't introduce her to Tyler. So I got to find a private moment where I can just sort of sit with my embarrassment by myself, and Oprah's not around, and ain't nobody around, and I can just let her just go rant about how much she loves him.
Now, one of the questions that I formulated in my head is, you are an entity. Lee Daniels has a brand. When your brand is married with Oprah's brand and Tyler's brand, how does one sort of package all that? It's just, for me, overwhelming.
It's overwhelming for me. It's overwhelming for me. I do these little movies, and I don't, I know I have a little tiny fan base that, that really come out and support me as me for what it is that I try to tell. But I felt that this movie was so important that I needed voices to help me. And so when God brought me Oprah on the phone, I didn't, he just brought her on the phone to me. And he brought Tyler on the phone to me. And he just, he said, these people are going to help you with your vision. It's very,
So for those who maybe look at your trajectory,
why you got me itching out now?
You're not. Mm-hmm. We're just talking in love here, because it's love of you and your work and your courage. I love your courage.
Thank you.
Probably more than I love anything you've done, because courage is a precious commodity that few harness, and you have done that.
Thank you very much.
When I look at the character Precious and some of the nuance that surrounded her life, it's not limited to lower income, middle income. It's steeped in the images that we have of ourselves. And you put them out front and center, and you didn't beat us over the head with those nuances, but yet you forced us to see how we had thought of ourselves, that white was beautiful, and you had to have certain kind of hair or a certain kind of image, and we still wrestle with that. How much of that image do you think factors into who we are today?
Right. I have a very high image of myself, I always have felt good about myself, because I was told early on, that I wouldn't be anything early on. So I knew that that was incorrect. So, but I know that that other people have been told that, and they haven't done so well. Good friends, family members. So, you know, this is homage to them.
Mm-hmm.
This film is homage to them, and I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy because I know that it hits home, and it hits home in a strong way for them.
How ironic or fortuitous do you think it was that Good Hair and Precious were at Toronto at the same time?
What do you think? It was funny. Oh, Lord. You know, my daughter was like, well, she missed my premiere. She went to see, she was all about good hair. It was all about good hair, you know, and I couldn't hate. I couldn't hate because I had mama, you know?
Yes.
So I lost daughter, but I had mama. It was, I think it was just, it was time. You know, I think that once in a while, and I said this when we were making Monsters Ball with Hallie and Heath, and I told Hallie and Heath this, I said, you know, and Puffy, when once every 10 years, if we're so lucky, no matter how great the film is that you're working on, it's not just about how great the film is. It's about the climate and the political climate and the timing and the stars aligning to get the message across and let it speak. I think that Good Hair and Precious are an example of that right now.
I mean, coming out of that voice that we were talking about, our image of ourselves, and you know how it's distorted who we, you know, how we think. But now we can flat-footed just say, you know what? Yeah, we're pretty screwed up. You know, we have been for a long, long time. Okay, deal with that.
Yeah.
But what's on the other side of being screwed up? What kind of living should we do now in light of all these things?
I think accept the fact that we are screwed up. I think we have to embrace that. You know, my cinema gives life to that gray area in us. I know I try to be a good guy. I really do. I mean, I think that we all are good people under it all. I really believe that we are born with purity and goodness in our hearts and in our spirit. And I think that we all go back to trying to feel that. But I think life throws us some stuff. And we think that they're haters, and we think that this, and all of a sudden we fall into the darkness. And so my cinema gives, and characters in my work, gives existence to that gray area of life that we all live in, to struggle between good and evil. So, you know, I try to be a good guy, but I end up falling on my ass, embarrassing myself in front of my kids, like, you know, and I don't, you know, but I try to be good.